Hello, this is a 0.3 League Start update video for the Dark Effigy Essence Drain Contagion Lich. This build remained near untouched in the 0.3 patch notes and is still one of the strongest and safest League starters for the new update. In this video I will recap the build and go through possible changes that will be made. Keep in mind we are working with limited information provided by Grinding Gear Games, but eyeballing the new tree and gems, it appears that there will be little to no changes to the League Start version of this build. So starting off with the first change to the build, Arcane Tempo is now gone. It has been replaced with Rapid Casting, the second tier of which grants 20% increased cast speed. This is a massive nerf. However, the Rapid Casting 3 support gem says supported skills have 10% increased cast speed for each different spell you've cast in the last 8 seconds. So you're getting in the range of 40 to 50% increased cast speed. This is probably going to work out to more of a net neutral to slight buff, depending on how many skills you are pressing. Next change we have here is going to be the change made Dark Effigy's quality. Previously, it was giving 20% chance to inflict Wither for 2 seconds on hit, and now it is giving a slightly bigger impact radius of the bolts. What this means is that your ramp time on your Wither is going to be slightly worse than before. Withering Presence will still get you up to max Wither stacks by itself, however, it just has a little bit longer of a ramp time. So you might want to look for some other alternative sources of Wither on hit. However, this shouldn't be that big of a deal. I will now play footage from the previous video guide for this build, and we'll pause as we go, talking about any changes that are going to be made. I'll first hover over each piece of gear in case anybody wants to immediately copy it, and then afterwards I will go in and explain each piece and how they work together. Pausing immediately here when we go ahead and talk about the weapon. Instead of a wand and focus, a viable option might be the new Rending Staff. That is because it grants the skill Soul Rend. Soul Rend is a chaos damage over time debuff skill, but the downside of it is it has a very, very short duration. By default, with 20% quality, it will be 0.7 seconds. This means it's something that you would have to constantly spam. Even if you have enough skill effect duration to get it to 2 seconds, you would have to constantly be applying this debuff on top of maintaining your Contagion, your Essence Drain, and your Curse debuff. All of those would need to be worked in with the Soul Rend. So it's possible that you might not want to go through that level of effort. However, it's an option. So starting off with our wand here, you can see that mine has a failed fracture on it. Just go ahead and ignore that. Most important stats here are going to be the plus to level of all chaos spell skills. All spell skills works as well. Followed by increased cast speed, and then followed by increased chaos damage or spell damage. For our helmet here, we have an @Series Disdain. It's just the best helmet for a Lich. You just put it on every Lich all the time. That's what you use. Our focus here has a +2 level of all spell skills, followed by cast speed. A lot of things you can do with the prefixes here. You can get increased spell damage, increased chaos damage, or a lot of energy shield. And on your suffixes, you can look for a little bit of res if you can fit it in. For the amulet here, we have a +3 all spells amulet. Fractured this one, luckily, and also on the amulet, you need at least 24 spirit. Spirit requirements on this build may have shifted. The changes to mana costs on high-level spells supposedly being severely reduced. We don't have the numbers still, but if they are severely reduced, then you're going to need much less mana regen for this build than you did before. So clarity is not nearly as required as it was before, and the unfortunate part is that blink can no longer be set to your offhand weapon swap. This means that ideally you would want to blink on your main hand weapon swap, which may require slightly more spirit than before, but you can remove the clarity, you can remove the mysticism. Just keep this in mind. If you want to use blink, you might need some more spirit. To have clarity on top of our gem setup. In addition to that, you can get any energy shield, stats, res, mana regen. Chest piece here. You just want a big ES chest piece. You're going to want a flowing raiment or another base, preferably the one that has increased mana regeneration rate, but the one that is increased energy shield recharge is also good. Just big energy shield, stats, and res. For our ring here, again, a successful fracture on the cast speed, although this ring is really bad. You just want cast speed, preferably on a cast speed base, maximum life, resistances, some mana is okay, mana regen is okay as well. And same thing for both rings. Both of these rings are really, really bad, but that's what you want. For our gloves here, you want increased maximum life, increased energy shield, stats, res, and that's going to be the same thing for our belt and boots. But on the belt here, we have a really nice belt. Got really lucky crafting this. Just resistances, life, mana. And then on the boots, the most important stat by far is going to be your movement speed, so just get the most movement speed you can afford. On top of that, you want energy shield and resistances, or intelligence or stats. And for our offhand weapon, we have a chiming staff for the Sigil of Power, preferably one that has plus level of all spell skills on there to increase the level of the Sigil of Power. And for our charm, we're using a Nascent Hope. And in most cases, you are going to want to be using the Stone Charm for stuns, but this is up to you, really. Next up, I will go over our gem setup here. These are listed from left to right in order of importance. Starting off with Dark Effigy, we have Overabundance, Controlled Destruction, Arcane Tempo, and Venom. This is going to be one of the only changes made in all of the gem setups. Arcane Tempo is gone, Rapid Casting 3 is replacing it. And then after that, we have Envenom. Envenom has been changed to Poison Support, so you can just keep using that and use Poison Support. However, there is a new meta skill that creates insects that poison things for you. Poison is spread through Contagion, so you could use that meta gem and get a whole additional support gem for your Dark Effigy totem. Just keep that in mind. And Ancestral Urgency, with an option to swap in Ironwood or Concentrated Effect for bossing. Essence Drain, with Swift Affliction, Chain, Considered Casting, Chaos Mastery, and Derange, with an option to swap in Zenith over Derange if you are casting Essence Drain first. Contagion, with Unleash, Magnified Effect, Intense Agony, and Chaotic Freeze, with an option to swap in Hinder over either Chaotic Freeze or Intense Agony. Despair, with Decaying Hex, Cursed Ground, and Heightened Curse, with options for Inspiration and Focused Curse over Cursed Ground if you would like. Withering Presence, with Persistence and Clarity. Convalescence, with Ingenuity and Mysticism. This is optional, and you don't have to run this. It's not great, but if you have enough spirit on your amulet to cover it, you can add that in. Blasphemy, with Temporal Chains, Ritualistic Curse, and Encumbrance. Blink, with Second Wind. And Bone Storm, with Life Tap, Exploit Weakness, and Perpetual Charge. We use this because if you die in a map, you can buy the helmet Visage of Ayah, put it on, and then charge your Bone Storm. I don't have enough health right now to use some health. And then you can use this to put yourself on low life to synergize with some of our passive tree skills, which I will go over in a moment. As for our weapon sets here, we have Dark Effigy on weapon set 1, Essence Drain on weapon set 1, Contagion on weapon set 1, Despair on weapon set 2, Withering Presence on weapon set 1, Convalescence on weapon set 1, Blasphemy on 1 and 2, and Blink set to weapon set 2. And this will be the final change of the gem section, where Blink can no longer be set to only weapon set 2. It has to be set to weapon set 1. This means that you can either A, just not run Blink, or B, you're going to have to fit in a little bit of extra spirit. You can drop all of the additional aura supports, such as the mana regen or the mysticism, and try to fit Blink into your main swap, and Bone Storm on both. Next up is the passive tree, which I'll do a quick overview on first, and then an explanation after. Keep in mind, this tree is the 0.2 version of the tree. However, I have looked at the still images of the 0.3 tree, and just eyeballing the icons and the node placements, there should be very little to no changes to this passive tree. There is only one new Chaos Wheel, which will appear in the top right. You might consider picking that up if it is good. We don't know yet, but mostly unchanged here. Starting off, we are doing Soulless Form into Eternal Life. then Eldritch Empowerment, and finally the Jewel Socket. Our tree just comes up here, grabbing a lot of the Chaos stuff, an Energy Shield, Cast Speed, some Totem Nodes, Skill Effect Duration. As for our weapon set passives, I am highlighting them here. My character is currently level 93, so this is assuming you're level 93. But these red lines here are for your first weapon set. Some on these nodes on Essence Infusion and Potent Incantation. At the top here for the Dark Entries and for Pure Chaos and Wither Away. Finally, Preservation. And these notes down here ending up on this one as well, which you'll extend with just a regular passive point. As for the second weapon set passives, we have the Zone of Control, Hindered Capabilities, Master of Hexes, Lingering Whispers, and a couple Energy Shield nodes down here, as well as a couple Energy Shield nodes up here as well. Just a few quick notes about the passive tree here. This wheel may look a little weird, it is a little weird, but it's really just for the area of effect to help spread contagion a little more. Same with this one here. And on a lot of these extra Energy Shield nodes, like Essence Infusion and Convalescence, you can kind of balance that out depending on how much faster sort of Energy Shield recharge rate you have and how much recharge rate you have. You may find that taking some other nodes like Quick Response down here will be nice, or Eldritch Will for additional stun threshold, stuff like that, so just tailor that to what you have. Next up, I will go over how to play the character. So in the single target rotation, you're going to start off with Sigil of Power, Despair, 2 Dark Effigy Totems, Contagion, and then Essence Drain. And then all you do is maintain all your debuffs and maintain your Dark Effigy Totems. I find it's useful to kind of refresh them before they expire so their damage uptime is consistent. For general mapping, I have been using Dark Effigy Totem to clear more than Essence Drain, so just place a Dark Effigy Totem and Contagion, and do that every so often as you're walking along. Just place Dark Effigy Totems and keep pressing Contagion, and that is it. For some maps that have walls that are cutting off your Dark Effigy Totem or obstacles, you can lead with a Essence Drain into Contagion just to clear the mobs that are like coming around a wall. What you clear with, though, is entirely up to you, and you can use whatever you would like, really. So that's going to be it from me. I have a full written leveling and endgame guide for this build in the description and comment section below, so take a look at those if you would like. I will be streaming every single day over at Twitch/PathofKY, answering questions, helping people out. I'll be league starting Arc Deadeye, most likely, possibly Arc Blood Mage. Any combination of Arc, Orb Storms, Lightning Skills, something like that. So come over and take a look at that if you would like, but I will always be helping with this build as well. I'm just going to be leaving some raw footage at the end here, showcasing a full map, so you can get an idea if this is something that you would like to play. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Not yet. No.
Hi, I'm Chris Wilson from Grinding Gear Games.
Subscribe now and like the video.